today's video, I'm going to show you guys the best loadouts to use after today's balancing update. This video does include the nerfed Renetti, and if at any point in time you guys have any questions, let me know down in the comments below. I'll get back to you guys as quick as possible. I literally read and reply to every single one. To start off the video, I'm going to talk about the best SMGs that you guys should all be using and kind of where the Renetti falls in with the HRM and some of the other guns like the Striker 9. And then after that, we'll revisit the AR meta, where I'll show you guys the best setups for that too. Now, for the first SMG we're going to be talking about in this video, we're going to be talking about the HRM9. Like I kind of hinted at the start of the video, there was a Renetti nerf that happened, I think, 10 hours ago now, really recently. And it basically made the Renetti have close to the same time to kill as the HRM9. So they're both pretty similar. However, the Renetti has way worse movement, a little bit more recoil, and it doesn't have that range and smooth feel that the HRM does. And so in my honest opinion, I think you should switch off the Renetti to the HRM. If you really like using the Renetti, you can definitely still get away with using it. And this is the class setup you should use if you're trying to use the Renetti. However, the Renetti just doesn't have that super broken 100+ millisecond faster than every other gun in the game time to kill anymore. It's still viable, it's still part of the meta, but it's nowhere near as broken, and you will lose some gunfights to other subs. Speaking of other SMGs, we're also going to be touching on the Striker 9. The Striker 9 also has a very similar time to kill now to both the HRM and that Renetti conversion kit after the nerf. And now the reason people are starting to use this over that HRM is because the Striker 9 has way better movement. The gun still maintains that really low recoil kind of feel. It has pretty good damage range with my class setup. Now, to kind of explain this class setup and why I'm using what I'm using, it's kind of a weird one. I know some people like to put on the no stock attachment for this. I don't think no stock is worth it on this gun, and you can have a class setup that still moves very quickly that doesn't have the no stock attachment, which adds a ton of recoil. I'm gonna actually go through and explain the attachments on this a little bit, since this is a gun that not a lot of people use. The other two, I'd be wasting your time, I think, at that point. So for this first attachment on this, we're gonna use the Sakin ZX rear grip for a little bit of extra recoil control and gun kit control. We're also getting a lot of firing aim stability on this, which is a really helpful bonus that we get when we use this that you don't actually see on the stats. The gun already has pretty low recoil, and so this is pretty much the only recoil attachment you need on the gun, and it's not going to stutter ADS or anything like that at all. 50 round mag is needed because of the very fast fire rate. We're going to be using edge stop for the underbarrel because it's going to help so much with that movement speed, ADS speed, and sprint to fire speed. The underbarrels you guys could potentially be using is one of the first three. It kind of depends on your preference. Like I said, the Striker 9 has great movement, and so I'm going to use the movement focused underbarrel, being the XRK. If you want a little bit more recoil control, you can use the F-Tac, and if you want faster ADS speed and don't really care as much about the movement speed, use the TR6. I'm going to be using the XRK though, so I can get that crazy movement. The gun's just way more fun to use when you have that crazy movement. For the muzzle, we're going to be stuck on the Zen compensated flash hider. It's pretty much the meta on every SMG. Great recoil control, kind of keeps you off the minimap a little bit because it removes the pings as soon as you stop shooting. It does all that just for 5% slower ADS, which on this gun, because it's so quick, is pretty much nothing. And then for the barrel, we're going to be sucking on the Striker stubby barrel. This is going to help boost our sprint fire time, ADS speed, and our aim walking speed. Also going to kind of help just with the general movement qualities, make the gun feel really buttery smooth and really quick. Now, I know it does torch your bullet velocity and your damage range on this, but to be honest with you guys, 10 meters of a damage range is still very, very, very good for the subs. You will notice the bullet velocity if you're trying to map people really far away. So if you're trying to find that sniper support sub, it's not this. But in those really up close gunfights, you probably won't notice 400 meter per second bullet velocity. I mean, just look at those crazy movement bonuses and ADS bonuses you get too. It makes up completely for the muzzle that we added anyway. That's the Striker 9. If you guys have any questions, let me know. Before I show you guys the ARs, G Fuel's doing a big sale, and you guys can save with my discount code KP or clicking the link in the description. I'm also boosting on Warzone rank accounts, so if you guys want me to log onto your Warzone account on stream, show task manager, the whole deal, and help boost your Warzone rank, make sure you join the rank Discord. All right, guys, for the ARs, let's just dive right in. I think the best primary is still going to be that SOA subverter. Now, I know that some people do like to use this Bruin heavy grip. That's why I have it on here, but I just want to tell you guys and give a quick mention to a different attachment and different setup that I think is more useful here. And while this attachment may have a good amount of recoil control bonuses, when you use the rear grip instead, the PCS90 assault grip, you're going to not only get better recoil bonuses because it's 7% in both the horizontal and vertical direction, you're going to get the same recoil gun kit control. You're also going to get a hidden stat being firing aim stability with this. So you're going to see a lot more benefits. You're going to feel a lot more benefits by using this over that Bruin heavy grip. So if you're using that, make sure you switch that out to the rear grip. The gun still has over 100 milliseconds faster time to kill than the RAM. It's by far the fastest killing primary that has pretty low recoil and is usable from far away. On controller, the gun's even easier to use. I mean, let's be honest, now the aim assist does definitely help on this gun. If you're looking for alternatives to this gun though, if maybe you don't like the SOA, that side-to-side recoil definitely takes some time to get used to. It's taken me about a week to get fully used to the gun. It's very weird. And you can definitely still get away with using the RAM 7. I've seen a lot of top 250 players, especially in ranked play, still using the RAM 7. It's still a very good gun despite it having a slower time to kill. It's kind of like that Kilo argument. You know, those of you guys that remember the Kilo back in the day, it was such a low recoil gun. It was so easy to use that it was meta meta for so long, despite it being one of the slower time to kill guns. That's kind of the case with the Ram. It has a very fast ADS. It's very easy to use. The bullet velocity is great on it, so it makes it easy to use from far away as well. It kind of does a little bit of everything. So that's why this gun is so popular still, despite it being nerfed a few times. And the SOA kills faster, but if you want an alternative, this is a great one. And then to give you guys one more AR or primary to try out, the SVA is actually one of the fastest killing ARs, especially if you try to tap fire it. You don't have to put it in that tap fire mode or the burst fire mode. You can just leave it in auto and just tap the trigger to get those first 2 bullets to shoot at the same time every time. It does look kind of weird when you do it like that, but it does maintain the faster time to kill because you are technically shooting 2 bullets at the same time every time you shoot. The gun is pretty low recoil. The gun's really easy to use. The gun has a really clean optic. To be honest with you guys, I think when the SOA gets nerfed, you'll start seeing a lot of people switch to this. This is a class that you guys want to use them for that. The reason for the Kimura vertical grip on this is because this gun does have a little bit of vertical recoil. Plus, if we're tap firing this gun, we're not going to see much horizontal recoil, so that little bonus we get in the horizontal recoil category is probably not going to be noticeable. And because of this gun's already fast ADS speed and pretty good movement, you can pretty much just use the damage range boosting attachments and bullet velocity attachments that you use on the other ARs. You need to focus on any of the movement attachments or anything like that. Yeah, that's the class setups you guys should all be using. If I had to pick out of those 6 guns which were the best, I would rank it HRM 9, then Striker 9, then I would put the Renetti conversion kit as an honorable 3rd mention, just because it's a lot slower than the other 2. HRM just has such that really good, well-rounded feel to it that I don't think people are ready to put down yet because everybody's so used to it. That Striker 9 has incredible movement, so if you're a movement player, you probably like that more. And then for the primaries, that SOA is my baby. I love that thing to death. I can't stop using it because of that way faster time to kill compared to the Ram, and while it may be a little bit harder sometimes, I think that faster time to kill does make it worth it. I'd then rank probably the SVA, and then I'd probably say the Ram 7. Again, the Ram 7 is that kind of that kilo argument. Really low recoil, really easy to use. So if you struggle with those other guns, keep using the Ram. Hopefully they don't nerf it again though, because at that point, chops. Thank you guys for all the love and support on today's video. If you found it helpful, please consider leaving a like and sub to the channel if you guys are new. It does help me out tremendously. With that, I look forward to seeing you guys in the next videos.